Okay, now I'm turning to Catherine's post here. And again, I can't speak to everyone's post. What I try to do is to pick out a few people, sort of highlight what they're saying, and try to connect that to uh, what other people are saying in the text, or show you ways that you can connect things together. But if I talk about everyone's post, I would be, you'd have even more podcasts than the 10 I'm averaging on each time around. So anyway, looking at Catherine's here, right? So she deals with scene 8, right? So this is should I stay or should I go? And again, I emphasize that this is not something that is really problematized in the Socratic parable. That you really don't have a scene where the person says, "Should I stay or should I go?" That's something that I injected in as a template, and it's a very modern sort of idea, right? That we are uh, some 2,000 years after the Socratic Revolution, right? And the Socratic Revolution is a philosophical revolution. It is a revolution in learning, right? It's basically saying that we can do it on our own, right? We don't need uh, gods. We don't need kings, right? Socrates sort of has an everyman or every person type approach, right? And that was his idea. Everyone's a philosopher. You just have to sort of do it. And so that's the Socratic Revolution, and you can see the Socratic Revolution some 2,000 years later, which is really manifested in our educational institutions, Temple University, universities in general, primary, secondary, higher education. Uh, that's putting a value on education. That's saying that education is important, that it has to be something that is drilled into us, that we have to be trained in it, right? And there's different levels of it. So that's a very before Socrates, you really didn't have that idea. And then after Socrates, it really took on a life of its own. Okay. So, this Socratic revolution, right? We're living some 2,000 years after it. And so the parable of the cave is there, right? It's still there for us in a basic format, right? But again, like I said before, uh, but with the Matrix, right, we really have to um, imagine and reinterpret the parable of the cave for our own time. And that's what this question, should I stay or should I go? That's a very modern question.